Hey guys, how we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. So to start this video, I'm going to talk about potential cautions for the week. We just had the weekly close yesterday, and then after that, I'm just going to get into a little bit of Ethereum and then finish on XRP because we've got the monthly candle closing, and we've just had the weekly candle. Let's assess what's happened: XRP versus the US dollar, XRP versus Bitcoin and ETH. But firstly, I just want to say I am a bit cautious about Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin, as you can see at the bottom here, is the highest it's ever been on open interest. Just broken out of the previous resistance levels that helped us find our top at 73k. We're now only at 69,600, and open interest is higher than it was at the high. So it's not necessarily positive. We're also on the 4-hour time frame getting into the oversold area on the RSI, which I know can act as a catalyst for an upside move. And I'm going to show you some liquidity pools. There's a lot of liquidity above us, which could indicate that a lot of the open interest is short. But I also do not like it when price creeps up and open interest creeps up at the same time, like more heavily than it has previously. It indicates to me that if we have some volatility, you can get a short squeeze. Basically, I mean a long squeeze or a short squeeze. So basically, if we did, for example, have a 3, 4, 5% day and lost this swing low or this swing low, we could have a liquidation wick. So just be aware of that if you're trading leverage. It's definitely something to have your eye on right now. It's not necessarily saying it's definitely going to happen, because if we go to the next chart, this is trading different. This is where I find my liquidity pools. You can clearly see that just above us here at between 70,000 and 70,500, we have liquidity building, and they're quite recent shorts. Look, these are just people who are short in the market. They're quite recent. They've only been in the market since the 25th of July at 9 a.m. for most of them, and then most were added 27th July at 8 p.m. So like 2 days ago, these shorts have only been in the market, so they could get cleared, which probably just squeezes up in towards all-time highs. This is the opposite way that like volatility and this liquidity can get drained, and the open interest can decrease. We've got a lot of short positions above us. We could start to see a move up towards above previous all-time highs to like 75k ish if we do start to get rid of some of this liquidity. So it's possible that we do see that happen, and that brings down open interest, but you just have to keep in mind that open interest is the highest it's ever been. The highest it's ever been right now. So let's just err on the side of caution for Bitcoin. But now I'm going to quickly talk about some potential bullish or bearish catalysts, or catalysts that are basically going to provide volatility for this week. Then I'm going to talk about ETH, and then I'm going to finish with a bigger section on XRP. So one of the catalysts is FOMC and federal fund rate. This is on Wednesday 31st, so in 2 days' time. To finish the month, we're going to have the FOMC talking about the markets, so the Fed talking about the markets, and then what they're going to do with interest rates. There's a 97% chance that they won't cut. There's a 100% chance they're going to cut in September, which is the next FOMC or the next Fed fund rate. But could we see either dovish talk from Jay Powell basically confirming rate cuts in September, which might catalyze the market? Could we see something hawkish, which might pull the market back? Or will they just come in, surprise everybody, and hit us with a rate cut? There's a second cut that just happened with the Bank of Canada, so something to watch for sure. Volatility, I think, this week is that's basically that might be the title of this YouTube, to be honest. So also this from OSF, this is about ETH. In just 4 days, Greyscale's ETH has sold almost 20% of its ETH. I know we're at the final straw of patient with ETH, but maybe, just maybe, we could see some inflows. Hoping Bitcoin inflows pick up after the Trump speech too. So obviously, guys, we saw Robert Kennedy at the Bitcoin conference saying that they would try and hold 2 million Bitcoin. The US Treasury would buy 550 Bitcoin a day until they hold 2 million. Donald Trump then came out and said they were going to hold Bitcoin. Came out and said we were going to hold 1 million worth of Bitcoin. And basically, it's looking bullish. The speech, we didn't see a lot of price action, and follow those speeches. Bullish for sure. Obviously, you can sell the news in crypto. A lot of people talk about that, but I think that news is incredibly bullish. Said he was going to fire Gary Gensler on his first day in office as well, which I found pretty funny, to be honest. But if Grayscale's dumped 20% of its ETH in 4 days, even at that rate, they can only last like another, 5% a day. So another, what is that, 16 days? That's probably not right, actually. But 5% a day would be 25%. By the end of this week, they'd have dumped 40%. So yeah, it would be about 16 days, wouldn't it? Ish. So it's not looking too bearish for ETH. ETH managed to hold strong. Yes, we had a pullback into this area that I talked about, while Grayscale have dumped 20% of its supply on the market. After that's gone, it's surely basically up only. Not up only, because you never get up only, really, unless we break out for crypto. But it's got to be looking pretty good. And ETH on the open interest is not loading right now for some reason. It's just my silly laptop. See if I can reload it. But ETH on the open interest, I was looking at it. It's not looking too bad either. It's not at its all-time high like Bitcoin, suggesting to me that ETH actually could go higher than Bitcoin here, or start to outperform, as history would suggest, as altcoins often do better when Bitcoin breaks its all-time high after it's been consolidated. This is what I talked about for ETH coming into this ascending diagonal rectangle, potential of touching the liquidity sweep area. And so far, we've just bounced out of the rectangle that I spoke about. So let's see what happens. Again, I think there's going to be volatility this week. If Bitcoin, some of the open interest gets triggered, anything could happen to altcoins. We could see a big liquidation, like sell-off wick. So I am prepared for that, and I think you guys should be too. So finishing on XRP. XRP daily time frame price action is absolutely coiled up. We finished the week, which is pretty cool, actually, outside of the wedge that we've been talking about. So that's indicating something good for XRP. And now, can we have a perfect candle close outside? Meaning, can the candle body open and close outside of the wedge this week? That's what we're looking for really bullish price action there for XRP. So that's on the weekly. Let's update on the shorter term time frame on the ABC correction that I was talking about. As you can see, we're still just consolidating. I did say there was a possibility for this to already have been a 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3. It wouldn't be very clean, so I wouldn't prefer this to be the case, but it's still possible. Oops, I'm just moving this around, doing this as we talk, guys. So there's actually a lower low there, so that could potentially be a 5-wave structure, and that would mean the C leg finish there. So you would like to see an impulsive wave 1 of wave 3. Well, next, that's what we'd be looking for if that was to have played out. So that's something to keep in mind. The 4-hour time frame for XRP looks pretty bullish. We're looking towards the monthly close now, but I'm going to come back to finish on that because it gets exciting to finish on that. I'm just going to talk about XRP against Bitcoin, XRP against ETH quickly. We'll talk about the weekly closes because we just obviously had that candle close there for the weekly. We didn't manage to get the close still above the key level against Bitcoin. We did reject it quite heavily again, which isn't amazing, but it was still obviously come up off the bottom, which is what we want to see. And against ETH, obviously ETH performed pretty well today. We did actually manage to get above the bullish confirmation box, but not get the close above there. We got a close, the highest weekly close since February 24, so that is obviously decent, but nothing confirmed as of yet. And then let's look at a monthly. So we've obviously got just 2 days left for this month. This is what the monthly candle looks like for XRP versus ETH. And I'm going to drop on the stochastic RSI on here to show you guys what it's looking like on the monthly. The RSI on the monthly is potentially about to get a bullish cross. The stochastic is coming off literally the floor for Bitcoin, for XRP against ETH, sorry. And then we're going to look at XRP against Bitcoin as well, showing something very similar. The stochastic is coming up off the floor, and the RSI is looking for the monthly cross. And now we're going to look at against the dollar, showing something very similar as well. The last time I checked, look, big bounce out of the oversold area for the stochastic, and on the RSI again with that monthly close, potentially a bullish cross. And if we can get a few more percent move to the upside against the dollar in the next 2 days and 14 hours, we're going to be having a bullish close outside of that wedge that we've been stuck in since January of 2018. So it's all to play for this week. We've got a lot of volatility incoming the next few days. People are also talking about lunar cycles. Don't get into that too much, although I do think there's probably something to it. I don't like to put any weight on it because I'm not an expert in anything like that. Although I do probably feel like the moon does have some effect on people's emotions, which probably does affect trading in some way. I'm not going to get into that too much because there's no proof for that anyway. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, and if you've got any questions, please let me know in the comments, and subscribe if you enjoyed, and please share it with a friend as well. Peace up, A-Town down, as Crypto Insight UK would say. Have a great week, and keep your fingers crossed for price action.